Okay, so it's just a little after 3:30. I've been up like a half hour or something. And I swear, I am. It feels tense, man. I feel so like on edge. It's weird. I just saw a video though. I was like, I'm gonna go on TikTok and see what's up. And right when I saw Duran, there was a gunshot thing. And there was lots of sirens and stuff. And he was listening to the police scanner. So it was, BS going on. I'm sure in all the cities, there's just nonstop BS. And another one, they went and closed down a major thoroughfare. I can't remember where, if it was like by Chicago, New York, or wherever. And they get so excited about it. It's like, you guys are so like, oh my God. It's just like all they want. I don't even know. I swear to God. I feel like we're in the, it's like the insane asylum is being run by the inmates. I swear to God. It's just mental. But that's where people gotta see. Like they said Cherubin, but what's fucking driving the dude? But this video I just saw that was just like, oh, because I've been really, really bothered all night about something, what I'll talk about, which is just another strange thing. But the one that I just saw that was just like, oh, it was disgusting. So it looked like a farmer. It was like a farm, and it was all these giant birds, which I was trying to see, like, are these turkeys? Like, what is going on? Is he just sitting here slaughtering turkeys right in front of the other turkeys? And is this like just a sickening kind of thing or something? And then I was thinking, oh, I think those are vultures. I think this is all fucking vultures. Like big giant ass vultures. They were like fucking up to his waist, this fella. He has a big old fucking axe. And he's axing something on a big, like when you're splitting wood, you have to have a big wood thing. So he has like a big wood plate thing. And he's axing on it. And then whoever's videotaping goes up close to show it's bones, regular human bone, regular whole size, full size, and putting it into smaller bits, which I've heard that they then take the bones and grind them up and feed that to us too. So vultures get the other part and then we get the other part. It never stops. I think they make it into gels and stuff, like a pink goo. Like, oh man, this stuff is so fucking sick, man. So, I guess they just throw them in and let the vultures eat the stuff, whatever's left, and then just get rid of the bones because there's so many that they can't even keep up. Like, they can't even get them all in sausages and shit. Like, it's just too much. It's going too fast. They're slaughtering too many people. And the, what was that? Something else about slaughtering. I don't even know if I said that there was people who were saying that there's homeless people going missing all over the place. Plus this drop in temperature. And then in some places, I guess, the temperature is really, really high. I don't know where. I just saw these people talking about it. You guys act like this is so good for it to be so hot right now. And it's in the middle of November. And we haven't even had rain and snow yet. This is going to fuck us. But they never said where it was. I always want to know, like, where the people are at when they show things. Like, there's crazy stuff up in the sky, up in Compton. There's, apparently some people think that, it has nothing to do with the firmament, what was going on. It's like, you guys, come on, this is the big reveal. This is the big reveal. Slow and tedious as it may be, it's the fucking big reveal. And yeah, they got to open your mind to, we're trapped in here because so many people don't look into anything. Like so many people, like you bring up flat earth and they laugh at you. Go watch some flat earth documentaries and then let's talk, okay? Go do some research. Go look into some stuff. Then let's talk about it. Like, it's irritating. Come on. And it's like people don't look into things. They just, in this bizarro world, how people just want to question things like the giant, the giant cave is just, it's a party now. Everybody's there. It's like video after video. People are all there. It's just completely full. There's a whole weird thing now about the original guy who had said it, which I still say there's a giant. I don't give a fuck. The door, like, how would he have even found this door thing and stuff? And so, you know, he may have been out there doing, you know, because he's was something on the city council or something about the draining of this dam and stuff, or something shady. I don't even know it all. Oh yeah, and on the bank thing, the ISO, it's called ISO 2202.12 or something like that. But I saw a guy talking about, he said, you know, don't get all excited because this could be another thing, you know, that we're not going to really see much about this ISO, but it is another thing that has gone through. So, you know, if we don't see a lot of stuff that happens from that this morning, don't be disappointed. We're still going in that direction, as slow and tedious as this ride may be. And, but this guy who was the original about the giant door slamming, he was out there by this water in this dam. There's something about the council that he was on did something about this, which is a whole fucking thing, and it's a big cover up and all this stuff, which I was like, well, why would he go and bring attention to it? But then again, when I was on the HOA and I saw the corruption and stuff on that side, then, you know, I've definitely said, I'm bringing this attention to, you know, I've told, I'll make sure everybody gets what's going on. Like, you know, we sit there and start putting this development in, and this whole thing with the roads and stuff. And it is just shady shit all the motherfucking time. And so that's how city councils and developers, I mean, the whole fucking shenanigans going over on Connecticut. And this developer just goes in on somebody else's land and starts developing it, putting up houses. The people come home, their house is gone, and they've got all these houses on the land. This developer going, they got real estate agents selling the houses. It's like, what in the holy hell is going on here? And yeah, this corrupt fucking bullshit. And then the realtors, well, we didn't know. Yeah, and because all y'all do is think about how to make money, how can we make as much money as possible. I got a fucking new fucking Escalade I gotta buy. I gotta go to the fucking Bahamas next week. You know, it's just like that's all they care about is themself. And I'm gonna put myself up there on that pedestal, and I'm gonna show everybody I'm a success story. And it's like, yeah, it's good to be driven to be success, but you don't drive right through everybody, you know, you don't plow through the crowd to get there. So yeah, everybody should be driven for success, but you should also have integrity. But you know, that's something that's lacking because money overrid integrity. So so I don't know, this guy could be was originally trying to draw attention to something out there. I'm not sure, but there's so many people out there. And now another guy over at the part where the water's all drained on this dam situation or whatever is going on, there is a thing that looks like an edge of a pyramid. And so this guy's like, look at that, that's an edge of a pyramid right across from the door, which I'm thinking this isn't the door. I'm thinking this is a window. And you may go in and out of it still. You know, it may be an escape, like we all have escapes in our houses, but I think it's a window. And I think that there's underground taverns or caverns and stuff, you know, that there's a world inside our world. And so this video I just saw, this guy was going down the side on a rope. So he was scaling down the mountain. He got out to the door, and it was showing that this thing in the door is separate. It is a big boulder thing that is pushed up against, you know, it's like a big rock formation pushed up in a hole, and it has a hole cut out in it. It's like, and there's so much stuff with giant stuff coming out. Like there was a guy who was just working at a dam, and they were digging. They were having to do something at some fucking dam. And he said, what the hell is this? And he shows they have to jackhammer it out and stuff. And it's a fucking wrench that is like, you know, like not a wrench a human could use. It's a ginormous wrench. There, I saw some divers find a ginormous knife. There's a whole thing that I just learned about, that there is a big field called like the Field of Cups or something. And it's all these giant cups that have just been discarded, giant clay cups that might make no sense unless it was like a giant party and they just left all the cups. Like, I think, you know, there was definitely a group of giants that didn't give a fuck about stuff, but there's always been, because in the Tartaria stuff, like there's, and so much of the ancient prophecy or ancient text or whatever from different tribes of the battles that they had with the Indians, and that the giants would eat them. They would always, these giant red-haired people would eat the people. So there's definitely a group of them that were just very, but it shows that also in that RBG, if that's the name of that movie with the giants. It is, it shows that too, that there was like, because the one giant who's got the little boy, he's a nice giant, but then he's got these other huge ones that like sniff and, you know, they want to eat the people. They can smell them. So, you know, there's all different. And so, but when I see these people are like, oh, well, you know, that's just a rock formation. It's nothing. It's just like, man, I feel like there's people who just block and block and block. Like they do not want to see a different reality. They can only see what doesn't, I don't know. Seriously, I don't know, because it's just so weird to me. I mean, it's like a fucking argument I've had my whole life trying to tell people. Like, there's all sorts of footage right now with a Bigfoot. Bigfoot got caught on a camera, and he was mad, and he was by a crime scene, and he was throwing trees and stuff. I saw one of these religious content creators talking about he's a demon. Them and the demons shit, man. It's like, come on, people. Like, fucking hell. What the hell with these people with their mind trap? So, and then there was another guy. He was on a Go Cam, and he was out skiing, and so he's singing a Christmas song. He's making up a little Christmas song as he goes, like, because he don't want to get caught by his wife, because he lied and said he's at work and he's really out skiing. And so he's Go Cam, and he's showing him singing and stuff, and as he's going super fast, and it just catches. There's a Bigfoot just standing over in the trees watching. I mean, you slow it down, you see it just standing there. It keeps being stuff all over, but it's, I think it's partly because of the vibration, like, you know, it's things are becoming more clear. But then there's a lot of people whose vision is still, I don't know, you know, where they just like, oh, well, that can't be right. Like the fucking, there's footage of, you know, them putting off the rocket, and it passes the moon, it goes past the moon. So I don't know if the moon was still showing when they launched it, because I'm on the West Coast and it was on the East Coast. And so if you could see it, but it goes right past it. Anything they did like that would be on purpose, because it's all about getting people to question. Use this thing and question reality. Question it. Like, goddamn, people, come on. And so, and then the, you know, the text is, you know, how is this thing going past the moon? The moon would have to be like 80 miles from us as this thing is passing. That doesn't, you know, of course it doesn't make any sense. We're in the goddamn Truman Show. We're in a fucking containment. They tried to make like we weren't. And the people who were showing, so there's people who are just completely doing a whole breakdown of it hitting. And so in the breakdown, one of the breakdowns I had seen, so the rocket's going, it launches a missile, they're saying. It goes up and hits the firmament. You see it hit, and then you see it keep trying to go through. Then you start seeing water splashing out. And then it explodes, the missile explodes, and then there's a huge explosion, a bunch of water shoots out, and then it just closes itself back up. And, like our skin or something, only it's way more efficient than that because it can close directly back up. And it just closed and sealed back up, and the water stopped coming in. And because it's holding the waters out, 100%. Once it opens, that's probably what's a big thing that's going to change the landscape, is the firmament opening. I've said that for a couple years now. I've said for a couple years, in case you've missed it, that all this stuff going on right now is the awakening part. This is stuff, for people who use this little noggin to start looking around and question, like, well, that's odd. I wonder if that, well, I wonder, well, maybe, well, curiosity, like, use some. And then that sends a wave, like, we are interacting, like, with the Schumann and the sun and everything, energetically. There's a whole interaction that's happening. There's a whole fucking storm of brewing. And, I'm a part of it, my frustration. And so all of the energy is going through all the people. And we're interacting with the sun and the planet and all this stuff. And then, oh yeah, I want to say that too. Okay, so then, so the planet is having this reaction with our energy. And the firmament is a containment due to our vibration. Because, like I've said about 10 jillion fucking times, that it is like, we are like a warring people. Like, negative, hostile, like fuck, I don't even know if you think different. So there's a containment, because that energy just can't go out anywhere. But all the souls can come in and experience that energy, play those parts, play whatever a part of the game that you want to play. And so it exists, and you get to come here and experience, but it can't send the energy out. So it's a containment, like a fucking pimple. And it's like a bubble. We're in a bubble, like in the middle of the ocean. And think about the ocean. How much life form, how many different realities are in the ocean. I mean, and there's so much hidden from us in the ocean. And it's just like they hide things out here. There's a lot hidden. That's why I was like, I'm not going to go in there. There's fucking sea creatures and shit. There's beings in there that is where they live. And they do not want us in there because we do not have respect. We throw garbage. We don't give a fuck. So, and we think that we are superior. We think we're better than every other being. But I don't know how people fucking don't see it. So anyways, and we have all this stuff happening to get people to wake up, to question the reality, because that's what awakening is about. Question your reality. Begin to question everything around you. Question your motivation. Question why you do this, why you do that. Question. And then, which is a big fucking, isn't that a big letter? That it represented so much through this. And I think it's astounding still where people are, that's a psyop. Oh my God. Because you're not focused on the right thing. You're focused on your expectation instead of focused on the questioning and healing and growing and expanding and evolving. Like, get with the program. So then so everybody gets this opportunity on this slow, soft open. There's a soft opening happening. And to me, it's all based on your own connection to the Holy Spirit, to the universe, to your connection. So if you are connected, then to me, it was simple. Like, I've always been open. I've always been able to see. So I don't know what's blocking other people, but this is your issue. So then you have to see in this soft open is this opportunity, and it's slow as hell to the rest of us. This is like, come on, people, come on. And then when you see people, oh no, it's just this, no, that's no, it's like, okay, buckle up, prepare for impact, because people who cannot budge, whose brain is stuck, they're dependent, they can't fucking let go, they are going to get a hard open. So there's a hard opening coming. That is the switchback. That is when the energy goes the other direction. Which, by the way, in Jerusalem or something, maybe it's Israel. I think they said Jerusalem. I don't know, some fucking holy building. And there's doves that have been flying for, I don't know, weeks or something, over the building in the infinity. These white doves. And so people are seeing all this stuff about it. And this guy who's there, he said, this is really happening. He showed the footage and stuff. And it's over Abraham or some religious person's vision of the heavens or something like that. I bet your ass they put this shit on portals. Yes, they fucking know their shit. Like, they have their holy buildings leading down into the caverns. They have their fucking buildings over portals and shit. They know what the fuck, because they know about the mysticism. They know about these alternative realities. So, you know, y'all just, you know, whoever wants to just stay trapped in their little fucking habitat that they created for you, go ahead. So then the hard open comes in, and that is going to be, everything's going to be just pulled away. They're going to take the government away. They're taking away the medical. They're taking away all of this, you know, it all is going down. And it's not because there's some people taking away, it's because it was built on corruption. It was built to hurt people. And so it's all going away because it doesn't match the energy. So all of the things, the medical was not there for your health, even though so many people became dependent on it and think they need that little magic pill in there. It is there to destroy you. So that sanction, that fraction, that group is going down under lawsuits, under all criminal activity. There's going to be all sorts of charges. There's people who will be put to the end because of what they've done. So that's going. Same with the government. All these people who have tried to tell us what to do, same thing. So all of these different forces are all going to go down. So all of the people who are dependent on these things, they're going to have them ripped out of their hands. I mean, there's still people who are running to the doctor, running to the hospitals and shit like that. And, you know, then they're getting all their hair cut off. So they are, all of this is to expose because it's all going. And people just keep on, I honestly, I just can't figure out how people think. Honestly, I just can't. It's like I can't even fucking fathom it anymore. So so there's going to be a hard open. There's going to be a switchback. There's going to be, everything is going to, and everything is picking up speed. There's people who are saying that they're seeing people who are aging like a decade and people are aging really quickly. And people are saying time is speeding up. Some of those people, they maybe because their time is running out because they're not going forward. And so they're in their experience and it's speeding up. And then it's going to end. I don't know for sure. And so but in this, when it switches back, that is when it's going to be the big awakening. That's when there will be no denying. But all of this stuff that was out here for the soft open, all of that stuff is going to be very minimal compared to one's own vision, one's own ability to see. That's what's going to be the stop. That's what's going to hit people into the wall. Their own truth, the truth about them, the things that they've been in denial for, the things that they haven't seen. All of the people who've been out there arguing with half the story. And there's people arguing on both sides with half the story. You can't just say it's one group. It's a multitude of people. And, I mean, people are saying that all of these SJWs that are out causing all of this wreaking havoc and shit are all love and lights. They're all witches and people carrying crystals and stuff like that. So, you know, they're all so close to God. So, or close to whatever. I don't even know what spirit, witches, I don't even fucking know. I mean, it's so fucking wacky. Nobody goes inside. They all just, I don't know. It's just weird to me. So, anyways, that is going to be the Great Awakening. When things switch back, then that is going to put out this extreme energy. When people get that, you know, all of a sudden wake up and see and feel their pain and feel it so deep and so hard inside them, that is going to send out a shudder. It is going to be like a fucking tsunami of energy that is going to bounce out. And we've already got the sun is already shooting out CMEs all the time. I've seen footage of people getting up close and stuff, supposedly. And you see these things just eject out. And it's like when you're making candy and it starts boiling. It's already doing that. It's already activated. The energy's already going. And on the planet too. The planets are rumbling. So we've got this energy going back and forth. And then you got these people who just like, oh, this is just normal. Everything's fine. Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. Then you got other people, the world's ending. Nothing matters. Kill everybody. Who cares? It's like, oh my God. It's like we're in a cycle. This is a cycle. This is a natural thing occurring. And for people who have spiritual insight, understand that you can ride this out, that you won't die, that this is a new age that is being presented. It's like, it's a whole thing. But, you know, the other people, they've got their own shit going. I don't know. So the CMEs and all of this activity, our energy and stuff, that is going to bust the firmament. The firmament is going to go, I think the ice wall is going to, maybe it's just going to melt away. Maybe this, when the firmament opens and the water comes in and it's all, our containment is going to go away. That to me is going to be the big dramatic thing, is something with the containment. We're being released. We're getting let out of jail. They're opening the doors on the lab. And so we get to exit. That's what frees us up to interdimensional travel and stuff. But not everybody, I mean, like there's a spectrum here. And not everybody's going to be there. And, you know, you can see. So one of the things I wanted to say, you know, David went on live yesterday. I didn't go on and watch. I don't know. I just don't want to, I don't know. Wherever he's at, he's at. But this, I saw someone sharing his thing. This, everybody's like getting certain attitudes and stuff. So this girl, and I don't know if it's just like if the stranger things get, the more they have to push it away to keep their sanity. I'm not sure. But anyways, so she was saying, I'm watching David Wilcock live right now. And like, he's talking about dinosaurs. Like, what in the hell with this guy? Like, what is, so I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about or what he's saying. I know that back when me and my friend had stopped watching him, I don't know, it was like a year and a half ago. It was like in 2020, I think. And he would go live all the time and we would watch. And then it started being, it's just like this religion and the stuff he was saying. It was like, so we just stopped watching. And so I don't know. Even that other day when I thought, oh, I'm going to go see what he's talking about a couple weeks ago. And then right away, it was like, he was saying something. I was like, what? Like, if it was about, I don't remember. But anyway, so he's putting some people off. And, you know, I don't know. You know, he's on his, everybody's got to awaken to certain things of themselves. Like we all do. We all do. And you can be seeing it as you go. Like, I can see people's attitude towards me or whatever, and I have to go through that. And so, I don't know. Hopefully that is, I am being aware of my truth and working through it as I go, but there's still something that will be, we're all going to see something that something unseen about ourselves. And so it's, it's a thing. It's a part of it. And so and I don't know David's, what is to come. I know that he was an important person in my awakening or not my awakening. I wouldn't say that because I was awakened to aliens and stuff. He was somebody who I appreciated because he was out there speaking about things and talking about research and stuff that other people wouldn't talk about or touch. So he gave some of us who believed in all that stuff when everybody was laughing at us, he gave us somebody who was out there talking about it. And so he, had a good role to me. Whatever's happening right now, it's not like I'm going to judge him and think, oh, well, he was a real piece. No, I know that everybody's going to go through these. This is an existential crisis. This is an evolution. This is a big change. And it's crazy because he's aware of so much of this stuff. And, but I don't know what pieces he's trying to put together or whatever. But there's definitely tons and tons of people who have the awareness that the dinosaurs are plastic, that a lot of that shit was made up, and there was giant things. There was big animals and big people. The trees were big. Everything was big, but I don't know what he was trying to say. He was trying to push lies, and who knows? Like at this point, I have no idea. Yesterday, something was, it was one funny thing was the lady who I'm always talking about, the little lady who I was saying about, that she should be the role model for, is there's some ad that I kept seeing on YouTube, and it would have this woman. It would always catch me because she would always be in her underwear. Or she's in her underwear. She's in like, I don't know, old lady panties and bra. Only, try to make it look a little cuter. She's got her hair completely cut off and set, the old lady hair set. And she could be my age, this lady. And she has the old lady body, no, not saying any, that you don't have any value if you've got the old lady body. I'm not saying that. It's just that, that's what they're promoting. That's what they want your goals to be. If you meet that, oh, you're doing great, because that you're going to get sicker and more problems. And so it doesn't, to me, it's just like they want to put up a low standard. Like they don't want you to go too high. Don't raise the bar too high. And then you have people, if their bar's raised too high, well, that just really hurts my feelings. I can't get there. Well, how do you know? How do you know? Give it a try. So I keep saying about this woman who I see all the time on TikTok, that she should be the one who's out there. She's like 73 years old. She's tiny. And I mean, she does not have that old lady thickness. And her hair is long. It's completely gray. It's beautiful. She has this beautiful face. She exudes youth. She just has a youthful appearance, a youthful persona, and she's a love of life. She loves life, and so, anyways, I had been talking about her right for the past couple days, and that weird thing about even when I was in there and I was looking at my back, and I was like, that's weird. The skin. Like, I wonder if I have to do like more yoga. I'm thinking of what exercises to do. And then the next morning I see her go on and she's talking about the loose skin. Even if you're skinny, the skin as you age, it just like doesn't stay as connected and it will kind of sag. And so she said what she does is she wears shapewear so that it just holds the skin. It's not like she's trying to change her body or anything. She's just trying to keep the skin from going around. But so she'll say things that are real and say like, you know, she's not trying to hide things and trying to be like, oh no, everything's perfect. No, she's honest and she says different things to say or to do. And so I'm like, man, this lady is the one who needs to be representing aging. She's the one who should be modeling out here and showing like, you know, this is setting the bar up. So like, man, I can still be thin as I age. I can have long hair and look beautiful. I can, you know, she's representing aging in a different way. And I appreciate that because we've got to break these stereotypes that they wanted us to fit into. But so anyways, yesterday, after I was talking about that again, because I talked about it for a couple days, and then I went on TikTok, and it was her on there showing that she was in all of these articles. All these articles had been written about her. And I was like, oh my gosh. After I was just saying that, and it's like, oh, is it just blowing up now? Is she going to be our new role model for aging? I'm like, cool. And so I just went on to her comments of that video. And I just said, you know, that I'm complete support of her being a role model for aging, that's for sure. And I said that's so funny because had been talking about you on my YouTube for a couple days about that, you know, that, and she answered, you know, so many times you make a comment and nobody ever says anything, but she answered back. And so she had asked me some questions, and so we started, I even thought, like, is this really the person? Because it was like, it doesn't usually go that way. And so, so we chatted and stuff, and, you know, and so we chatted and everything, and she's, you know, seems like a super cool person, and she does take that role, you know, she knows she's inspirational to a lot of younger girls too, because younger girls get so fearful. Like, they think like, oh my God, I'm just going to be old. I'm going to look like that and stuff. It's like, no, you get to look like however you want. The people who look like that have followed, like, it's programming. They're running a program. And people who age like that, they follow the program. And so anybody who's here breaking the programs, you know, we need more program breakers. So I appreciate these people out there, you know, breaking the programs. But I thought, oh, that's really cool. You know, I got to talk to her. It was really exciting. And, you know, she's a content creator and she's got her own content. She said she was going to come on and see my videos. You know, I have a lot of videos, and I've got a whole thing going of my own too. And, you know, other content creators, we have our own mission that we're out there doing. So, you know, I don't think she's going to come and be a part of our community or something, but, you know, I think we're gonna be seeing more of her. I would say that for sure. And she's really cool. I just thought that, man, that's so crazy. I'm just seeing so many different like synchronicities and stuff. It's just wild. And so then so, oh, this was weird. This was something that was just, it's been bothering me all night. It really bothered me. Like, this bothered me as much as when somebody told me Marianne Williamson didn't write Celestine Prophecies. And I was like, what? And I mean, at the time I went and looked it up. I was like, who the hell is this guy? This guy wrote Celestine Prophecy? No fucking way. I was like, okay, I don't understand what reality I've come from. And I don't understand how I got into a different one. But the reality I was in, back in when I was in the, you know, reading Shirley MacLaine stuff, Celestine Prophecy made a huge, huge impact on me. And it was Marianne Williamson who wrote it. And I started liking her. I was a fan of hers because of it. She wrote a second book. She wrote a third book. And the second one was like another part of the Celestine Prophecy, like a part 2 kind of situation. And then she wrote a book about women and something about women power or something. I don't really remember. I read them all. And by that one, though, I kind of lost interest because I was really into her magical world of how things could be. Because that is, you know, I feel I come from a magical world. And so I you know, that is a part of my mind, a part of my open mind. And so anyways, I loved those books. And they had a huge impact on me. And it is when, then I was reading Shirley MacLaine, which I swear to God, if somebody comes in and tells me Shirley MacLaine did not write reincarnation books, like I haven't even gone to look it up. I mean, I felt kind of sure of it because I saw Out on a Limb in a movie come up and she plays the part. So I was like, okay, well, she's still, she's still Shirley MacLaine that I know, I guess. And, but Marianne Williamson's not. She's now some political driven activist or something. And this guy who wrote the book in this reality, he, I don't know. I was really confused. I was looking it up, trying to figure it out. I was like, how in the world could this have happened? And this is before everybody was talking about all the Mandela effects, I think. No, I'd already heard some about them. Because I was hearing about those in 2015 and 2016 on YouTube. There was some basic ones, the mirror, and there was a bunch of them. Now there's so many. But, so I did know that, there's weird reality things merging and, we're not all from the same reality. And so, but there was things about them that I was looking up and trying to figure out. And so then, in the Shirley MacLaine, so I started reading her books, and I think she had 4 or 5 books about her journey and reincarnation and stuff. And then I read Dr. Moody's books. And there was other books, at the end of a book, it would also recommend other books and stuff. So there would be other books that I'd read. But anyways, Marianne Williamson was, in with me with Shirley MacLaine and Dr. Moody. They had a big impact on my spirituality 45 years ago. And so then recently, so it was within the last few years, because I had said something about the Celestine Prophecy and Marianne Williamson, and people were like, that's not who wrote that. I was like, yeah, it is. This book had a huge impact on my life. That's who wrote it. I know who fucking wrote it. And people were like, no. And so I went and looked it up, and I was just like, what in the hell? And so this is the same thing when this happened yesterday. And I don't know, it's so unsettling when this stuff happens, where it's so confusing. So there's this actress, and her name is Joey Lauren Adams. And she was back from the 80s and stuff. She was in Dazed and Confused. She was in Chasing Amy. And a couple days ago, something popped up about Meg Tilly. And then it started making me think about her sister, because I was thinking, well, which Tilly is this? Are they putting the wrong one up and saying it's the other one? And it was confusing me. And so I'd have my mind going on those actresses, and the Joey Lauren Adams popped into my mind. And because she also had a funny little voice. And so I was like, I was like, oh, I'd like to watch a movie of hers. What movie? And I started trying to think about, I was trying to remember the name of Dazed and Confused, because I was thinking, oh, I'm sure she's in that one, those 80s movie, whatever it was, high school. And so she was on my mind. And so then Empire Records popped up, and it was on my YouTube, it kept popping up. And then yesterday I was like, oh, that's got that Joey Lauren Adams in it. I was like, oh, I'll watch it, because I don't know why I'm in the mood to watch one of her movies. I had no idea why. And so the movie starts going, and Renee Zellweger comes on. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Renee, I was like, this was really fucking with my head. I can't even tell you. This was I don't even know. It was so fucking weird. And then plus, Joey has a certain voice that really adds to a character. And there's some certain lines in there. And when Renee says them, it doesn't have the same kind of thing. And I was just like, this is weird. This doesn't make any sense. How could I have... And I started looking it up. I started trying to look up, This is some kind of fucking Mandela effect. This is weird. So I started trying to look it up, and everything kept saying that Renee Zellweger was in it. And so I'm looking up, her movies. When did she have her breakout role? That was Jerry Maguire. And so I'm thinking, okay, that's when I very first had seen her. And I had noticed her because she had big cheeks. Like, it was her and Elizabeth, I can't remember her name. Both of them had big cheeks, and I had big cheeks. But they both had these big puffy lips. And so then I would be like, well, I guess if I just had her lips, then I would be pretty, because I had these giant cheeks. And so, that's how my first thought of Renee Zellweger when I first saw her. And so then she was in the Bridget Jones movies, and stuff. But where I started liking her was, where I liked her was in there was a scary movie that she was in where she plays a social worker. I can't remember what it's called. Not Ladder 49 or something, or Room 39. I don't remember. It has a number in it, but you can look her up and see. But I did not at all remember her in Empire Records. I did not remember her at all. Like, that seemed like big to me. Like Matthew McConaughey is in Dazed and Confused. Like, when these stars become really big. And so I was like, this is weird. It was really, really fucking with my head. And I was thinking, this was Joey. It was not Renee Zellweger when I watched this. And so I had posted on TikTok. And then I had the one girl who didn't like David Wilcock's live yesterday about dinosaurs. She came on and she started telling me that both of them were in it. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And so I don't even know if she understood what the fuck I was talking about. Both of them? So they're both playing the same part? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And so she would say weird things, and I would say, which do you remember being in it? And she's, both. Okay. Then I had some other people come in. Oh, no, it was definitely Renee Zellweger. I was like, okay, well, it wasn't for me. And then this other girl, she came in and she goes, oh, it was definitely Joey. It was definitely not Renee. And I was like, thank you. Fuck, thank you. Because I feel like my fucking brain is melting. And it has had me all night long thinking, how in the hell? Because then I asked my daughter, one of the people I watch the movie with all the time. I'm like, who was in that movie? Don't go look. But who played the part? This girl or this girl? And she said Renee did. And I was like, oh. And so she goes, I don't even know who the other girl is. So I sent her pictures. And then she goes, oh, well, I could see why you would be confused. And I'm thinking, I think you're confused. I think something fucking weird's going on. Like, are they fucking wiping certain people out and just making, are they changing our history? Like, what is going on? And then some people, I'm really confused about it. And I don't care how many people come and tell me, and they come and say, well, you got a brain injury, you just don't remember right. Maybe so, but it sure is having a huge effect on me. And usually things don't. Usually it's just like, I don't care. This is really twisting my brain up. And I went on and watched a few scenes, and it doesn't even have the same energy with Renee on it. I don't know. It was weird. And then the one girl starts telling me, oh, at the end when she comes and she's singing and then they become friends and stuff. I was like, I'm talking about something else. I'm just talking about the movie. I'm talking about the people in the movie. I'm talking about, are they changing our history? Are they, it's weird. I don't know. And, there's so many of these Mandela effects and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, so are we all just from different realities? We all just remember things completely different. Or sometimes we all remember things exactly and now they say it's not. And just like that one girl who was talking about Jim Carrey the other day and saying that he had put all these things in these movies that are like an anchor to these other things that all of a sudden went away. And so this went away, but he uses those lines in other movies. It's like, well, then who's he quoting if those lines didn't exist? And, you know, there's other ones too. I'm sure people could look up Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. I'm sure that has been said in a lot of movies. Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the most beautiful or who's the prettiest of them all? And it doesn't say that anymore. And there's all sorts of these different ones that it just changed. And so now it's like, is it that we're just remembering wrong, or we're all remembering different, or are they just literally changing things to destabilize us? Because I don't know. I mean, to me, this is just getting stranger and stranger. To me, though, it gets stranger and stranger how many people just have to lock into this false reality. Like, they're so stuck in this false reality. Like, oh, nothing weird going on. You guys keep your craziness out there. It's like, where is your soul? Where is your soul? What is your soul telling you? Like, everyone's soul should be speaking to them. Like, how much dark energy is here? How much dark energy is in people? Like, I am so confused by, I don't know. And then, you know, I don't know what's going on my YouTube. All of a sudden, no videos, all for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I don't know. Maybe people just got sick of me and don't want to hear anything. Maybe that's my truth. Maybe my truth's coming. And maybe I'm just some kind of wackadoo, crazy brain injury, egotistical, like I fucking don't know. We'll see when the fucking mirror lands in front of me what my truth is. You know, I get I get so many, it is weird. Like, I know I've said this before, a long while ago, that I get the same fucking message over and over and over and over and over all day long. The same fucking message. Like, it comes from all different things. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But to me is people block themselves. People don't want to think outside the box. I just saw this guy, and he was I started seeing him a long while ago, and I like his the way he creates his content. I like his persona, and there goes my stomach growling. And I didn't make it yesterday. There was no fucking way. I was really having a hard time. It was weird. It wasn't just like getting hungry and my stomach growling. It was like I was getting weak and sweaty and stuff. And I was like, fuck. You know, you got to go with what your body says. If I was out and busy and doing stuff, I have no problem not eating. You know, I can go. But just sitting here in the sickness, and my body hurts so bad. My stomach is jacked. You know, I mean, the weather should not affect us this way. I know it's not the weather. I know, I mean, we're fogged again. Fog, rain. Then let's have a sunny day so everybody goes outside. And then let's go fog, rain. Fucking, I just feel like I've got worms crawling in my goddamn nose. And so it's irritating because it's just this constant, you know, kicking our ass. It's like, fuck, I just want to just have peace. I'm like, goddamn. And so the weather is definitely kicking my ass. And still, it's making me feel so sick, man. And my stomach is just jacked up, which, you know, they attack our gut because our gut absorbs our nutrition. So whatever they put out there to attack our gut. So I'm sure lots of people have like stomach flus and stuff like that. I've got a horrible headache right now too. So I don't know. I'm so fucking burnt out on this shit. Like, goddamn. Fuck. Man, this is like, god damn. It was like, for those of us who have been pushing through this the whole time, it's like, god damn. This is like an endeavor. Like, this is beyond. Like, the way it just keeps going and going with, like, it's where it feels like there's no end in sight, which I know there's going to be, and it's going to be abrupt, and it's going to be, and I'm sure those of us who have been sitting there going, I just wanted to hurry, hurry. Then when it happens, we're going to go like, oh, that was pretty bad. Oh, you know, that was, you know, so, and, you know, there's these places that keep showing all of these different storms in all these places. And I am to the point where it's like, I don't even know if this is really happening. If there is places that are websites or something that are just creating storms and online and then putting it on so that we all start thinking that the whole world is falling apart. It's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of their world. Their world is ending. And yeah, that means our homes, our cars, our buildings, our shops, all of that is part of it. But we're going to have a way better, and it's going to be free. It's not going to be holding us down, chaining us to it's like they created our life for us, and now we get to create the life we want for us. So the okay, let me think what I was saying. The so all of the people, oh yeah, okay, so all these storms. So there's all these just really wacky storms. Like, there's all this footage that was going around of these the volcanoes in Iceland, and it was showing these cliffs. It was creepy as shit. And all of this lava coming and all these people just standing right there. I was like, aren't y'all worried you're going to just be plowed over? And I had seen people in Iceland saying, for the people who follow volcanoes and stuff, not to come. This was not the time to start showing up and taking over, you know, their resources and stuff so that they can get cool pictures. But then there was all sorts of people on those videos saying, this isn't real. Their volcano hasn't even gone off yet. This is fake. So I was like, and there's so many different footages of different floods and different storms and stuff. Like what I'd seen in Norway, I don't know, that could have been fake. But in Spain, and they're all over the place. There's supposedly floods just wiping places out nonstop every day. And I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. What was that one? It was, yeah, the volcano thing that they were saying was fake, but there was, there was some other, oh, yeah. So in China, this one was, I don't know if this was real, but this was like people in their, supposedly, people on their balcony, and they were speaking English. Like if they were, oh my God, my butt is sore. God dang. That they were showing this fire. So they're like in a downtown, there's all these high rises, and they're up on a balcony or something, and they're looking at this fire. And so they're talking about, are you getting footage? Look at that. Oh my God. Wow. Look at that. And then it starts exploding. Oh my God. It is like a fucking, it is like the huge, it was like the biggest bomb went off. It is so fucking creepy. And the people start taking off running. Then, I don't know where they were going. Like, I don't even know. I wouldn't be on the balcony with that thing fucking going. It looked like it would start taking buildings down. There had to be, if that was real, I mean, that was insane. And, you know, there's a lot of things too about China and their compliancy. And, you know, I don't know if they already had the awareness that they were eating human remains or something. I'm not sure. There's some definite weird shit. And the what was that? Because it was, oh, my stomach's growling and growling. You see, it's not gonna let me not eat. It's like, no, you will eat. But my body is probably telling me you need to eat. You need to take care of yourself. Like there's a time and a place that you will do your fasting. Like it's not like I know I can't do it. I can do it easy. I just need to, have stuff to do. Not just be sitting here going through, start a movie, goes 2 seconds and do that 100,000 times a day. Then just put on this and then go on TikTok till my thumb hurts and my hand feels like it's on fire. Oh, I had seen a thing too where I was talking about, this was a Reiki person, and talking about this energy that, this is where our energy comes out, and how people who have been using it and practicing, and how they've been able to start moving things before their hand gets up there. And this lady was talking about that she did it on a bio, those things that show our energy, and every nail has the same energy thing as in here. And so they said that's why they want people to put the acrylics on and polishes and stuff like that, because this is an extension of your energy, comes out of your fingers. And so all these things, like what I said, I mean, they do that about our hair, they mess with our teeth, they didn't mess with our pineal gland. Every way that they can cut you off from your soul, they do it. And but each person, like I fucking had fluoride all the fucking time. I was in fluoride treatments. I've had my guides were still talking to me. Like there's more to it. There's more to it than just your third eye. It's in your heart. It's inside you. It's in your gut. It's like getting in touch with your body. It's like tuning into yourself instead of tuning outside of you and looking, it's like when a baby is born, it looks up to the faces to understand its reality. Well, then that just continues for people. They're just looking at everybody's face. Oh, that person doesn't like me. Oh, what can I do to make them happy? Oh, that person doesn't like me. What am I going to do to make them happy? How do I make them happy? Instead of going internal and seeing, you don't need to make them happy. You don't need to make them happy. You probably can't make them happy. So why are you trying to make other people's happy? Especially if it's going to make you unhappy. You got to focus on what makes you happy. And you got to learn how to be sure of yourself. You don't need other people to tell you, yeah, that's okay, that's okay. Like you can't rely on that. Like I've lived my whole life going against the grain of, people tell me I'm crazy, I'm impulsive, I'm a daydreamer, I live in my own world, nothing nice. It's always, everything about me was made fun of and degraded and talked down about. And I didn't change it. I didn't go, well, I'm going to go become an acceptable person then. I just thought everybody was weird. I've always thought, but like I said, I also had a team, but everybody's got a team in there who will help you to realize, like, they're all weird. Like, it was at a point, too, where I was like, are these people for real? Like, are they for real? Like, is this real? Like, you guys really, like, when I would have a conversation with somebody and they say, no, you don't have a soul. I'd be like, you're joking, right? You're joking. No, that's stupid. And it's like, but you really do know you have one. You're just saying that, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, what do you think is making you go? What makes you tick? It's like, what makes you have, what defines you from the other beings? What is it? Well, I guess it's just, this magical DNA that we all just somehow magically had when we just ended up being some strange evolution of Darwin's theory of how we came to exist. It's like, and that sits well with you. That's where you're gonna hang your hat. That's not where I'm gonna hang my hat. I'm gonna go with the internal. And this is, you know, I'm a spirit, and I'm here having a spiritual experience. I'm here to experience like I fucking knew as a kid. Like I used to lay on my bed and look at my fingers and look at my feet. I would just be amazed. Like, oh my God, this is wild. You know, I've got these things, I can use them. Like I can use my feet like fingers. Like I pick stuff up, I can pick stuff up, put it up on the counter with my toes. I can use the other hand to do multiple things. I can write my name with my other hand. I can drive my car on the freeway with my knee. Like, there's a lot of things that I can drive with both feet. I've put effort into things that other people didn't put effort into. But I knew that it's like I knew when I was little. I have these memories of, you know, remembering of how fascinated I was by this vehicle that I was in and what it could do. And I knew that I was here for love. I knew that. I knew that there was someone special out there that I was supposed to be like a counterpart. I knew it when I was little. The thing that got me jacked up was that I started being like, are you my mother? Are you my mother? Everyone who would come in and say, oh, I love you. You're so beautiful. I love you so much. I was like, oh, this must be the guy. This is him. This is him right here. This is him. This is my soulmate right here. And it wasn't. Those were all people that were coming to teach me, because I didn't have the awareness that I didn't love myself. I thought, you know, I'm just trying to be nice, trying to be helpful, but I didn't have love for myself. And it's weird because I would always stand up for myself, but where I see my weakness is where I was out of balance is because you have the masculine and feminine inside of you. And so you have both. The masculine is the heavy. It's the protector. It's, you know, it's the strong arm of the vehicle. And so you have your masculine that is the guard who takes care of you. And then you have the feminine who protects you and nurtures and is loving and puts that out into the world. And so you have these two aspects, but you have to find balance. Everybody's got to find balance. When people are honest with themselves, they'll always see that they're out of balance. But especially for women right now, is a part of our societal norms has been really restricted. We've been very leaned into one side or the other. So most of us are out of balance. We've leaned in on either our masculine or our feminine. And it's, you know, due to, you know, there's so much of our societal norms and stuff, the programming that was directing, and it wasn't giving us a place to find balance, to find ourselves, to understand ourselves. So we have all these women out there who were out of balance, and so many of them are deep into their masculine. That's why they're all out there, oh, I hate men, you don't need men. They're out there, you know, they're going to take on the world, they're going to block the bridges, they're going to do all this stuff. You know, some of them are out there ready to fight. They don't give a fuck. And they're strong in their masculine. They have problems in relationships. They're always standing up to men. And wish there was part of me that, you know, would stand up all the time. Wasn't going to be pushed around, but I would get pushed pretty hard. And so, but I was still, the balance was off. I was really deep into my feminine, where it was like a damsel in distress. That's what I feel like. I was like a damsel in distress, always needing to be rescued, always needing somebody to come and help her out. You can't go through life like that. And, you know, it doesn't matter what you look like. You can't go through life like that. And if you look in a certain way too, then you're going to have everybody who wants to rescue you, and then they just want to use you up because you have no identity for yourself. You just needed rescuing. Then they'll look down on you for needing to be rescued, and they'll see you as a weak-ass bitch, and they'll treat you as such. And so there's a whole point to getting yourself into balance and to find, you know, your true your true north, your up and down, and then to keep steering and keeping yourself within the range that you find comfortable for yourself. And it can have to do with the people around you as a part of your healing too. So you're in a certain relationship that has a certain dynamic that is already situated, and you are out of balance. Then how do you find your balance? Because you guys have both just created an environment that can be out of balance. And so that's why I was saying that trying to heal some things with other people around would be very difficult. And I feel very fortunate that I haven't had that interference. But it is a thing that can keep you out of balance. And so there's a big part. I think a lot of relationships fell apart because of that, because people have to find their truth, not as the couple, as the individual, not as the mother, not as the father, as the individual. We have to find our own individual space, and that's our sovereignty. That is what each soul needs to do to move into this this new range, this new age range. Because if it's like a range, like a farm, like where all the chickens are out or something, a free range. Like we're moving into a new one. We're leaving the lab and we're going out into the fields now. And but some people are a lot more comfortable in the lab. Like, no, keep me in here. I'm scared. I'm scared. Might be a monster out there. Let's just go climb up and look in his window and see. It's like, God dang, people, have some respect. That guy could come plowing out and just pick up every single one of them and chow them down real quick. And they would have deserved it. It's like you're offering yourself up. Like your ego and your arrogance to not have respect for other beings and other creatures who reside here. Just because you haven't had awareness of them, and suddenly all of a sudden, oh, you mean Bigfoot's real? Oh, you mean giants are real? And it's like, oh, you mean ghosts are real? All this stuff. It's like, yeah, it's all real. And it's tough. Like, so I just had a weird thing on my bank account. My old card, the old card that they said wouldn't work, is put a charge through on my account. So I don't know if it's going to fall off today, but it's like, I don't know about this ISO 220. I was like, come on, hurry up, banks, hurry up and fucking, like, this show is like ridiculous. But so anyways, so to me, I always needed to be rescued. I relied on that, and I didn't know I was out of balance. I didn't have any idea. There was just things that happened through my life that put me in out of balance. That I didn't have awareness of it though. But then after, I had to do I got my brain injury. And then there was a whole thing of just it's a destabilizing, but you have to restabilize. So then even once you get to that, like your whole life falls apart. And then you have to find yourself and stand back up. And then everything starts getting taken away from you. It's like a stripping away of all of your things. My money, my bank account, my identity, my home, everything was being taken. I was just losing everything that I thought mattered. I thought I was creating a future for myself. I thought I was making a life for myself and my kids. And I thought I was making a stable life and one that I could enjoy. I was going to retire early. I was going to have 2 homes. I was going to travel. Like I had a whole plan. And so when it all started being ripped out from under me, I had to go through that process of letting go and questioning. When I lost time, when all of a sudden I had no idea about time anymore, I had to go through and be like, well, does it matter? When I lost my memory, I had to go through and I had to start, and it wasn't just lost my old memory. I was losing it every day. Every day was get up and it was like a clean slate. And it was like, oh my gosh. It was difficult. And so I had to question all the time, like, well, if I keep losing, do I need it? Is this something I need to stress about? Is this something like I need to be upset about? And I'd always have to be like, well, you know, you could sit there and be upset about it and hold yourself back there, or you can just go with the flow and keep moving forward. And so that's what I would do. Just keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And so then there became the part, you know, where I was losing all this stuff. I lost all my identity. And then, though I went back into another bad marriage, but it just left one. It was in the same fucking year. Got divorced and married. No, I didn't get married. I got together though with the person. We didn't get married for a couple years, but in all that time, I had red flag after red flag. There was no fucking reason for me to marry this person, and I have no idea. You know, I don't know. You know, I just know I was not in a good way. I was in my crises. I was in the end of that Kelly, that persona. She was leaving, and so the being together with them. Then when all of that fell apart, that is when I saw my programs. I saw my cycles. And that is when I became super aware of, you know, we're running programs and we've got ourselves stuck in cycles. And in how you having the awareness of your own programming and your own cycles, you can break your cycles by awareness. So I started realizing that. And so that was a part of it. That was like, I don't know, that seems like it was around 2014, 2015. Because all of this stuff started in 2009. That's when I got my brain injury. And February, it was Valentine's Day was the day I got released from the hospital. And so then, and by September, I was in another relationship with someone else. And then, but it was supposed to be short-lived. They were supposedly, it was only going to be a couple weeks that they were leaving and they were moving away. And I mean, there was nothing going on. It was just some dates and stuff, like go and hang out. It wasn't, I was like, no, why would I start a real relationship with somebody who's leaving and moving away? Like, I'm not going to do that. That's weird. And so then they decided they were going to stay. I wish they would have left. But that's what it was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen this way. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because even though the relationship was hellacious and it was very defeated, I was defeated. I mean, I felt, it was horrible. It was a shit relationship. And, but it was that I learned so much. It really changed my life. And so I had to be like, you know, it was the best thing that ever fucking happened to me. That relationship showed me my patterns. It showed me all the things that were wrong with me so that I could fix them. It was like the fucking toolbox opened up and I could see everything that was missing. And it was like, oh my gosh. So I could start working on myself, truly working on myself. And so then, you know, that's when I started getting all into, you know, doing tarot and doing QHHTs and past life. Like I was getting all into that kind of stuff and going to these Reiki classes and stuff. So I was really into that kind of stuff. And then, and I was having a great time. You know, I had become very independent. I took the bus everywhere. I rode my bike. I would walk everywhere. I would go out dancing all the time. I was having a great time. Everything was going good. And then my daughter came for that visit. And then as this trigger happened, this person triggered me. And then that sent a whole new fucking thing. Because then I was like, okay, have I gone crazy? Like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? And I just felt desperately like I got to talk to this person. And it was like this soul recognition. And I've had that before face to face, but this was a different experience. And so I was like really confused. And so I wanted to talk to the person, and I had no way to be able to talk to him. I had to go internal. I had to start asking, like, what the fuck is going on? And they started telling me, and then they were telling me the whole time. But that is when I started building myself. It's when I started putting this new effort into myself. of, I was already doing it. It was already happening, but it was, something changed. It was like a different thing happened. It was like another door opened and I went through. And so then I was on that road, that path towards this person, but I had no idea, why it was going the way it was going or anything. Now, I mean, it's fucking 6 years in, so I have a lot more clarity of what they've shown me and told me. And so, now to me, it's just, it's waiting to see how it's delivered. If this is, am I going to get to talk to this person? Are we going to get to have a conversation? Like, I can't imagine that they could be seeing me and not have the same kind of reaction of feeling like they need to talk to me, because it's the soul recognition, the memory, just like how these people are, seeing creatures for the first time. It's like we're going through experiences we hadn't had before. Like, I had a lot of soul recognition. Like I've lived a different way before than other people. Like, I've had some fascinating experiences, but this was a new thing for sure. And it was, it was difficult. It's been a difficult journey, and it's been very alone. Like, there's nothing that I can really talk about with so many things that I'm just always, oh yeah, okay, crazy. Yeah, you just think crazy things. You're always crazy. It's like, but I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. And I have gone through my life living a certain way and understanding things in a certain way that nobody seems to want to hear or listen to. I mean, now, apparently there's a few people who want to hear, people waking up and seeing and understanding things. And now people want to hear, and it takes a lot too, to have been ridiculed and shunned for so long, and then to come out and speak your truth, And to me, it's important for me to say my truth, but then also there was such a push from my guides, pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And then, saying that because of how my reality has been, there's a purpose to it. There was a purpose why I was such a weirdo, and why now the weirdos need to move to the front of the line. It's because the people who other people thought were like some sort of degenerate, weirdo, crazy people, now we're supposed to move to the front of the line because, I don't know, we were able to not be pushed around by other people, and we didn't get beat down by people calling us crazy. We stood in our truth, I guess. I don't know. I know I'm not the only one. I know there's other people. But the things that we say and talk about, when people move out of this superficial, shallow world, out of the three-dimensional, desirable, they're all just out there trying to reach their desires, then it is going to, and not even to, because everything has a good side and a bad side. Because there's a good side to following your desires. Like, you need to follow your desires. You need to get to your truth of your desires. But a lot of the desires that people are following are false, artificial desires. Like society's idea of success. And people are trying to follow that formula. And then, and it's all on this concocted, fake desiring, fake, like right now, the absurdity of this shit. Like, GQ magazine put Kim Kardashian as Man of the Year. I was like, quit with this shit. Like, it is just so fucking ridiculous. And the people who just keep playing along. I mean, the whole thing with Taylor Swift and this fella, like, suddenly Taylor is madly in love with this guy. Suddenly he comes out of the woodwork, but every guy, he's as famous as Taylor Swift is to all the girls. This guy's super famous. And it's just so weird that suddenly he gets a fucking spotlight on him and his agenda that he pushes. It's like, okay, I would think that I mean, there's some weird stuff about Taylor, no doubt about it. The way that she looks like that one girl. Just when I started looking up Renee and Joey, I started going, okay, this is a clone situation. Like, this is weird. I had never noticed Renee Zellweger looked so much like her before. And all I did was put in, because I couldn't remember Joey's name, so I just put in look-alike for Renee Zellweger, and that's who popped up. I was like, oh my gosh, they've got too many. There's too many of these Hollywood people who they look too much alike. Like, it's weird. And especially with all of the cloning and the way that they are, you know, if they have something that works, they want more of it. They've got access to all of our blood. They've got access to social climber wombs. They've got access to, I mean, they make this world whatever they want. They can take one DNA structure and make multiple little babies and grow some in the labs. Maybe there could be some, like Britney, like that one guy who was in that clone lab. He said that they would grow these Britney Spears ones all the time, and guys would come and pay to go in and do whatever they wanted to it. And he said it was the most disgusting, violent, horrific thing that he had ever seen. And he said that horrible, horrible things that they would do to this clone girl because they wanted to pay for an experience with Britney. So, you know, I mean, we could all have fucking clones in there. Like, I mean, the guy who was at the clone lab thing, he said it was huge. It's huge. They're growing people all over the place. And then, do they put them out for adoption? And then you have certain people who are always trying to make it to the top, to get in with the hierarchy, to get in with the, you know, the cabal people to join. I guess there's an article that has come out now with Lady Gaga, and she's talking about the day she sold her soul, and she wishes she hadn't, and she explains exactly what happened, and now she's trying to get the dark energy out of her, and she even went to try and get an exorcism and stuff. And, you know, and then you have Beyonce. She didn't give a shit. She wants that dark energy in her. There's way more stuff coming out about Jada and Will and all the fucking lies and all of the... There is so many people. I guess Jamie Foxx even. He would have orgy parties. Like, all these people are just all orgies. Just do whatever. Who cares? Just, you know, do whatever. It's like, well, I care. My soul tells me, you know, don't do that. Like I've said, there's a lot of situations where my soul was like, run. And I've run. And but there's a lot that I've had a lot of other things, but those are lessons. Those are things I was supposed to go through. You're supposed to listen to those your gut. If it says run, you run. And so there's just an acceptable perversion that has taken over our society, you know, and that is a dark energy that we got to break free. And so many people are so attached to it. But y'all know Lady Gaga, and then the day before I just saw a concert, and I don't know if it's an old one, because the day before I saw a concert, and it was hers, and it was like she had on devil eyes, everything. All the people were dressed like devils. They're doing a whole fucking ritual devil thing out, you know, all this evil conjuring and stuff. It's creepy. In her concert. And then the next day somebody's sharing, a totally different person is sharing this article from this magazine. It might have been Esquire, but I don't know if it was Esquire. It could have been, I can't remember what the magazine was, but it says there's a whole article though of her talking about her selling her soul and how this guy approached her. It was after a show, and then once she had said that she wanted what he was offering, it was like the next morning her whole career blew up. She went from being not well known in the clubs to being skyrocketed to the highest fame, you know. And another thing that's really weird about that is because a lot of these people keep saying that when that happens, when a person's career skyrockets, that a person in their family is killed, dies. And there's people who say that it is a trade-off. Like these people say, okay, yeah, go ahead and kill them. But this one person who I know of, it was like, no way would they have said, yeah, kill my dad. Like, no biggie. But I don't know. I mean, the dad was so supportive of the son that the dad could have said, you know, my time is up. I have no idea. But there definitely was, there definitely is a pattern that is being showed by a lot of people who skyrocket into fame, and then some significant person dies in their family, in their life. And so, I don't know, but Lady Gaga said that the guy came and he was talking to her and said she could have everything she wanted, and so she agreed, and then everything blew up. Like she said, it was, it just went crazy. And there was something about that I don't know if these people go around to certain people and make these offers, and then when somebody doesn't know and they think, oh yeah, hell yeah, I can do whatever it takes, I can fucking get out there, yeah, I want fame, I can make this happen. And they can be taking it completely different than how this guy is meaning it. Just like how the one girl was talking about the gold juice. It's the same thing. She said, they say, you want it all? You want everything? Here you go. And she said, I don't know if you really have to drink or you just have to say yes, like Lady Gaga did. And she said, she always said no. She said, no, I don't. And but she said it was a battle inside of her. That sometimes she would think like, man, you could have everything. You can have everything. You don't have to die. Everything is just handed to you. You don't have to worry about stuff. But, your soul is in there saying, oh, don't you think that there's a definite payment. There's a definite thing that you will have taken from you. And people just don't realize. They think that like you're selling your soul. But your soul is still in you. It didn't leave you. It is in there. You are your soul. But it is like a metaphoric kind of thing, because you are controlled. You can't follow what you want. You have to follow what, you are told. You have to be controlled by someone else. And so that to me is selling your soul. Someone else has control over what you do, how you do it. And if they've got an agenda to push, which we know these people do, they have an agenda to push, then you are compliant in their agenda. They will pull you in. They will force you to be the agenda while they sit back in the back as puppet masters. And they can knock people off the stage. They can, they're in control. And so, yeah, to me, it's like, oh, don't want to, somebody who has control like that. You don't want to, but there's a lot of people who had to go and learn it. They had to go and experience it to see, and them going and experiencing and seeing opens all of our eyes. Because don't fucking tell me, like I swear to fucking God, you could still to this motherfucking day, half of these goddamn TikTok creators, you could go up and make the offer and they would say, hell yeah, hell yeah. So don't sit there and judge these other people who have, because there's way too many of you who still would jump right on there. Oh, I could be famous. Oh, I can have what I want. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I don't have to die. And there's a fucking guy out who is, he's getting younger because he's living off his son's blood. It's like, oh my God, damn. Like, that is so fucking sickening to me. And that, but that shows this certain part, this certain aspect of people, but for those of us who say, no, thank you, that when we move forward, see, the universe will give us those things. The universe will give us everything we ask for. The universe will give us everlasting life. Like all that stuff comes in a positive way, or you can do it in a negative way. And there's all these people doing it in a negative way. There's so many people sitting out there like judging people who are actors and people who have gone through the process and acting like, that they're some sort of criminals or something. When all of them would line the fuck up and take that fucking, they'd sign that contract in a fucking, dude, wouldn't even need full heartbeat. Their name would be on that dotted line, so they're just live in jealousy if somebody else got it. And so many people think, oh, well, they could do better. They wouldn't let that happen. They wouldn't let that happen. They're so much smarter than these people. That's what drives all these young parents. Oh, my parents just suck. I'm going to be a good parent. And then they're all over fucking TikTok crying. Oh my God, this is so hard. I can't believe it. Oh my God, parenting is the worst. And oh, I just want my kids to just be at school and just go and be there all day long and have somebody else watch them. Parenting's so hard. It's like, well, maybe you should probably give some respect to your parents then. Maybe think they were probably trying to do the best they could too. Ever think about that? I was really on one yesterday because there's this guy, this age of people, and they come on, and this one video where he's like blaming all of the older people, it's our fault that all of this stuff has happened. And that just really struck me. And I put on some other movie yesterday, and it was an old movie. Well, it wasn't that old, really, because it had some people. It had like Robert Redford and Julie Christie, what's his name? Got the big mustache. Dang, what is that guy's name? He's always in the Western movies. He was in it. What's his name? Shalane. I can't think of his name. He's got an unusual name. There's a bunch of people in it. And it was about these activists back in the 70s, and they had killed somebody in one of their situations, like with the stuff that's going on now. And so that they killed somebody, and so they were all on the run. And so, Susan Sarandon's in it for a bit too. Robert Redford has like the biggest part, but it has a whole bunch of people in it. And her part is pretty small because she's one of the activists and she gets arrested. So she's a pretty small part. But anyways, it was showing in the beginning of how about all the activism that was going on back then. There was so much going on. I mean, people have been standing up to these people all this time. And for these kids to turn around and say, oh, well, you guys just did whatever they said and never stood up, and now look at where we're at. It's all your fault. It's like, oh, fuck off. Like, learn some history. Like, this is showing because it was all this reaction to Vietnam, and there was so much. But there's been reaction to everything. Like, there was Middle East stuff going back then with Gaddafi and stuff. And gas. We had to stand in gas lines. There was all this shit was going on. We were always going through this stuff. And people had no idea that corporations were taking over. I mean, even in this movie, though, they talk about it, about the corporations taking over. But people, I don't think, realized on a scale. And so now you all these young people who want to blame other people for the problems. And to me, it's like, you guys all wanted to work smarter, not harder. You wanted technology. You wanted it easy. You wanted to just have fun. No, you guys became compliant. I mean, it's all of it together. It's the whole big thing. But for these people who are out there marching across bridges and stuff, thinking they're the first ones, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and right now you're being used because they know what's going to happen. They know what people do. So that they create this shit and they use these people to get them out in the streets so that they can plow through them and do other things. Maybe arrest them all, maybe. And people are disappearing right and left. Like, people are disappearing, and then bodies are being, what was that one too? Because this was something, about, oh yeah, something in China too. And something about not the pianos, but the other things that I'm always talking about. And yeah, there is really, that is real. Like, there's a whole thing of why they keep taking so many, why there's like never ends. It's not like, oh, well, we need a couple of kidneys. No, it's like you need hundreds a day. And you just go take them from them, go take it from them, to get it from that guy over there. He looks healthy. It's like nonstop. Just taking them and taking them and taking them. And they don't give a fuck. Like, that is the whole thing with that drug, that they can still take those things, even when they die from, which they're not even really dying. They are putting them in some sort of, like a coma, and then they're just cutting them out of them while they're alive. And because that whole diagnosis isn't even real. It's just wild. It's just wild. It's just crazy to think that they need so many of those things. And you know, I don't know. I saw somebody was sharing. Trump was out speaking at some rallies or something. Somebody shared a part, and they said, and the thing was, you got to hear this. And it was like 8.5 minutes, so I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to a couple minutes, and he did say something about, well, this is all going to change next month. And I thought, oh, they just slipped that in there. And so I think, you know, no matter what, we're close to the change. It's always around the same time. We're close to the change. Everything is changing. Everything, but everything is for everybody's benefit right now. It's for everyone to see what they need to see, to wake up, to see reality isn't what you've been told, to question your beliefs, question why you do the things you do. This is an opportunity for you to heal, to get to know yourself, to understand yourself, to evolve, to change, to become different. And so this is why all this is happening. And so many people don't use this as, you know, that time. I mean, it's crazy because some of these people just lock in more and more. I can't believe this, you know, the author and the September situation has created such tension with people. Like, people are so on one side or the other. It's like, to me, I think it's ridiculous for people to think like we weren't involved in all this shit. Like, we fucking killed Gaddafi. We fucking, there's shit coming out now too, where people are realizing Manson was a scapegoat. It's the same thing with, you know, Gaddafi. Then the same thing with, I think, Mustache Man. I think there's way more to the story, especially if he's like the president now of Turkey. Like, if that's all real, like, and you know, I mean, the Yahtzees worked for the Blues, and there's the Z's of the Blue are also the Yahtzees. I don't think most of the Blue people, I don't think, know how there's a certain group of them that are the keepers, the monsters. They are the criminals, and that the Blue people are used as the shield. They're the mask. They're the beard for the Blues, for the Z's. The Z's use the Blues. And so, anyways, just, you know, keep questioning things and keep trying to look deeper into things. Look outside the box. Oh, yeah, because this guy who I was saying earlier on that TikTok, who I like, he was saying, you know, there's only, I mean, there's open-minded, and then there's just, you know, this is getting ridiculous. And it shows this girl, and she's in a car with her parents, and I don't know how she's dressed, but she's getting lectured about how she's dressed and drawing attention, and she's crying, and poor her. I've talked about this shit for years now about this. You know, that they are taking empowerment away from women. And so this guy starts saying, some man starts saying how this is toxic parents, and this is the most narcissistic thing, all this stuff. Can you imagine telling a girl that what she wears brings on her what happens to her. So the guy who I like, who was doing the stitch on this, he was like, yeah. He looks up enticing. He looks up all this stuff. Yeah, your clothes, it matters. And we should be telling girls it matters. Yeah, you're going to draw in the wrong people. There's a whole thing to that. That's why I keep saying that they want to turn people. But then you got these counselors and stuff out there leading people in the wrong way, saying that's narcissistic. No, it's not. Take responsibility for what you're putting out there. If you're a girl going out dressed scantily clothes, then the men around you think you're asking for it. That's just like, you know, you can sit there and blame them all you want and think, well, I'm empowering myself. I'm walking around in my underwear, and that's lady empowerment. Okay, well, you're programmed, and you are, you know, you're not empowering yourself. You've got to, you know, keep your stuff to you. It's not out there for everybody. It's not to put on display. If you're putting it on display, yeah, you're bringing in the wrong energy. You got the wrong kind of attention. And you can't blame it on the other people. Take responsibility. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.